I don't know, some preangle might be nice. I don't know.
If it's the same thing every time, though, I feel like it's repetitive. It would have to be different stuff.
Yes. And I don't want it to be too personal. And yet we can't
Mm.
talk about the episode.
Leaves nothing on the table to discuss.
Right?
Unless this is the intro right now. Welcome to
It's
another
not.
episode of
Go ahead.
Yami Shibai podcast.
Oh.
I'm your host, Ghosty. And I'm joined by...
The germ, the rain's being just poured out of my hands.
I've taken control of this podcast by force. Today's episode is called, I'm checking
Locker.
the notes, and it's not written in the notes.
It's
but
Locker.
called
It is
Locker.
in the notes. It's after one.
Oh, that's why. I was looking
Yeah.
above the numbers.
I get that.
Locker.
That does make some sense.
Did I say the step right up and have a look? It's time for Yami Shibai.
Yeah, definitely. Every time.
Well, saying it now. All right. So our episode starts. There's a high school girl. She's watching her crush play baseball on one summer day. He looks her way, but she gets embarrassed and turns away, blushing. While leaving her school, she's feeling sad because Senpai didn't notice her.
Do you know
But
how
she
many of
overhears
those?
two girls gossiping in front of her.
Do you know how many of those I didn't take from the comments? There were so many. I didn't take any of them.
There's an unoriginal joke for you. One girl says, "There's the guy I like, but I can't just bring myself to talk to him." The other responds, "Did you hear about the coin locker in the station basement? If you put a picture of your crush in the locker with the doll, your love will be realized." She goes down into the basement. It's dark and lonely. In the basement, she finds the wall of lockers. But which one is the right one? She knows her crush's jersey number is 10, so she heads to that locker. She opens the locker, jumping backwards, finding the aforementioned doll in it. She wonders if the rumors are true. She leaves the photo in the locker, politely asking the doll to help her. She closes the locker door, takes the key, and says a prayer, hearing a little girl laughing in a totally non-creepy way. The next day, she heads down again to check the locker. The photo is gone. Her crush surprises her, saying hello, asking what brings her down here. She deflects the question, asking him the same thing, and he answers back, "I just had something to do." She notices that he has a locker key in his hand as well. Eventually, he admits he's here to make a wish and asks her if that's why she's here too. She admits the same and asks, "Whose photo did you put in?" She tells him about how her photo disappeared, mentioning the doll. He says in a panic, "That's not right. The one with the doll." The locker shoots open. She looks in confused. Behind her, he's obviously afraid. He starts screaming. She asks why in a panic. We hear fleshy, wet noises and see a shadow ball up in the air. His shadow turns into a square of flesh, and we see it fly into the number 10 locker, fitting perfectly. The locker closes, and we hear the little girl laughing again. The end. Interesting. Very interesting premise this time.
I did enjoy the whole locker thing. Like if it
It was
wasn't
interesting.
Yam Shibai, it could easily be in a romantic comedy.
Yeah, that's true. I was like, when she went down to put her photo, her crush's photo in there, I was like, this is Yami Shibai. This is not going to end well. But I did not expect him to be turned into a meat cube and
Right?
stuffed into the locker. That was weird. I didn't really get that.
He fits so perfectly in there, it's almost satisfying.
Satisfying meat cube.
Next TikTok trend.
This was maybe one of the weirder episodes when I think about it.
Like 90% of it is not that creepy.
Yeah, you're right. Nothing's really that creepy about most of it. Usually they get into the creepier way faster.
I think that's why it feels unique in the Yamabachi like episodes,
Hmm.
but I don't know if that's a good thing or not, and we'll find out later.
The characters are a little bit older too. Usually they're like
Yeah,
younger kids.
or
This
adults.
time she was maybe like 14. Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess there's been a few adult ones too.
yeah. So your prediction of someone being shoved into a locker and creepy stuff happening last week, you were really close.
I did not expect it to be like that though. I thought it was gonna be like bullies or something.
You were expecting a full length locker.
Did the girls mention a doll when she overheard them? I couldn't remember that
No,
part or
I
not.
yes, they did mention the doll. I remember because I've read it into the synopsis.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, did that happen? I couldn't remember.
Yep.
I'm kind of confused why he was scared about the doll if they mentioned the doll. Maybe she
Um,
just got bad information.
she did get bad information, but because they never mentioned the locker number,
Hmm.
I think a different from based on like the information we're given, it sounds like the love locker is a different locker. And
She
10
was
is the
set up for
one
failure.
you want to turn people into a meat cube.
Hate when that happens. When the boy showed up, I originally thought he was going to be like a fake version of the boy or something and like
That would have been
deceive
cool.
her somehow. It
I
seems that would have been more predictable though, honestly.
Yeah. It would have been more predictable, but it would have I liked their version too. I like both your versions. But they should really put a warning on that locker.
It seemed to be well known outside of her because he knew what it was. You're right. That is bad.
Remember, kids, do your research. Don't just put your crush's photo in a random locker.
You never know what could happen. I mean, honestly, it was logical that she found the doll in there. I was like, oh, this has got to be it.
Yep. There are multiple dolls. The love doll, the meat cube doll.
You think there's one in each locker?
That's a good question. I would bet no.
Based off his reaction, no.
Yeah. Well, he knew 10. He's like, oh, not 10.
Bad luck.
As
You
he
got
goes in
10.
the locker, I just want to be friends. So they say the station's basement. Do you think it's a train station?
Yeah, it's a pretty common for there to be tons of lockers and train stations.
But do train stations have basements?
Mm, not really, but it doesn't seem that unusual to me. There would just be some stairs down.
I know they have
The
a
train
lot.
station I take here
Yeah.
has a basement where the subway is. So
Oh, okay.
maybe it could be like somewhere that gets down to the subway, even though it's less likely to be empty.
From the photos we saw, I'll go back. It looks like just a tunnel.
Yeah, it looks really weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like,
when that
there's-
guy was down there, I was like, this is weird.
Yeah, like I want to get
Maybe
one
it's
of the
a
hallway,
connection
like
between
that.
two buildings or something.
But why
It is
this?
possible.
Like the train station is somewhere else? That makes sense.
Yeah, with a lot of train stations, at least ones that I've gone to, especially in Canada, there'll be ways to go underground, so you don't have to get rained or snowed on
Yeah.
walking between them. But
I worked in a there was like this large hospital facility, like they had multiple buildings, and they had underground sections for the staff to go to and from.
secret,
Yeah.
nice. That's cool. Now
Nope.
that you've told us that secret, though, they're gonna have to kill you.
It was super creepy. Doubly so because they use steam to heat everywhere, so there's a bunch of like pipes.
Was it dark like this?
Not that dark. Actually, there were places because
Oh, that's creepy.
it was mostly well managed, though.
I imagine it doesn't get cleaned very often in the secret halls, though.
No, like the main hallways, they take patients downwhere, but as soon as you go off the beaten track, it like we spilled something and we cleaned it up. The floor turned from brown to blue.
No man's land. Really? Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy. It's probably the first time it was ever cleaned.
Yeah.
We better get back to this
Yeah,
episode.
I'm just
What
trying to
were
think.
people saying about this?
Yeah, I
Or do
was
you
just
have
about
anything else?
There's
to say?
nothing really else to say about this episode, is there?
No, I think the main attraction is the meat cube.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like the TikTok joke, it perfectly fits in there. Just like, boop.
Perfect fit. When they say your carry-on can only be a specific size.
That's what airplanes expect people to be like when they get into their seats.
Turn into meat cubes. That's true, actually.
That's who they designed the seats for. Okay, I'll read the first comment. We've had this person's comment before, and we've always struggled with their name.
No more comments from them.
EgoG99 has a
That's
hidden
close
comment. Ooh, could it contain spoilers? What dumbass architect puts the find your true love locker next to the make someone die horribly locker? Standard just slipping.
Wow, that's a lot of thumbs up. People like this.
Oh, this was the
What
top
kind of
comment.
architect chooses where the lockers are? It feels like an interior designer type of decision.
Wouldn't they build a spot for the lockers though?
I guess so, yeah.
And you'll read the comments from his or hers,
And in the replies, Dezo Penguin,
who we've seen
says-
before as well.
I thought that looked familiar, but I thought maybe it was just a generic profile picture.
It's not a
Desert
generic
Penguin
profile picture,
said-
but it is popular. The show's from.
And seriously, let's not even get into the labeling issues. Don't they know that municipal law requires all death cursing lockers be clearly marked? And Nintendo said,
There ought to be a
oughta be a
law."
law. I made a little typo there.
People are having a the comments are crazy on this one. People really seem to enjoy this one.
Yeah, it surprises me. People latched onto this one a lot.
I think it's just because it's unique.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird, isn't it?
And then we have one from Sean Hikaja. I don't think it's going to work out between them. And then we have a reply from MCI Creepin. I'm hopeful still.
They could fit into a meat locker together. Now he's backpack sized.
You can take them anywhere. You can take this one.
Jupiter has a hidden comment that says, anytime.
Oh,
now."
oh, sorry.
It says, that was a dramatic pause. Looks like the doll had a bigger crush on him. Hey,
And the comment
says "Badumts," which is accurate.
Like the comments are on fire this week.
That was a good comment, actually.
Yeah. There were a few crush comments, but this one was the best. Then we have another hidden one from Miso Saga Yuki.
Mimosa Usagi.
Don't you just hate it when your love spells go wrong and you accidentally kill the person you like? You get what I'm saying, ladies?
Ladies.
I think the ladies one really just brings that one up above for me.
Orange Friday said, after this, she can get rid of the body of she can get rid of anybody she hates.
Like what a positive ending that Orange Friday came up with.
It's like a new Death Note.
Need
Cute
another
meat
week
cube
to finish
blocker.
your math homework? Kill the math teacher. And we have one again from Dizano Penguin.
Yeah, this person's commenting a lot.
And here I was expecting horrible things to happen to the protagonist. Surprise!
That's true. Usually it's the protagonist.
Right? And this one had a hidden comment. I'll read this one again from HK Tridon. I thought we'd get a little Inception-y on this one. Well, if you think about it, if your crush was crushed right in front of her, she'd be traumatized. And that's true.
I guess so. I expected it to be a joke.
I know, right?
I was like pausing a moment. I was like, what?
I clicked it and it just didn't go for some reason.
Oh, no. I was confused when I was looking for the joke there.
Yeah. I know, it's very serious answer, right? And she'll be traumatized. Kids.
Kimmy108 said, notice me or be square. Be that or be square.
So I accepted that one over the senpai jokes.
Well, I'm glad I got it done at least.
You got
Make the best
the
of both.
justice in for a lot of people, I'll just say. Last one.
Zitter said,
Oh,
Heh, meat locker. I dig this show's twisted sense of humor. Lol.
that
I
definitely
don't
wasn't on
get
purpose,
it.
but great, great comment.
I don't get it.
The Have you ever never heard of a meat locker?
Like where you hang
Yeah,
frozen meat?
yeah, that's where you like hang meat
Oh,
and store it. They call it a meat locker.
I feel like it's not a very common thing.
I knew what it was. I
Uh,
think you're the weird one.
maybe, yeah. I guess so.
So, themes and metaphors. Did you
Mm.
find anything about this episode that spoke to you?
Don't obsess over one person because it's unhealthy. There's many meat cubes in the sea.
There's always another meat cube, right?
Yeah.
I had to really think hard about this one. I think losing your first crush because you're not willing to take action yourself.
That's a good point. She would have lost it. Him getting meat cubed was metaphor for like another girl stealing him or something.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Why does that sound so funny? It really hints that he put her picture in there. Heavily hints. Not
I
confirmed.
couldn't tell if it's hinting he put another girl in there.
We don't know. It doesn't say.
True.
Yeah. Before we get to our personal scores, is there anything else you want to say about the episode? Because I can't think of anything.
No, it was pretty good though. It's fun.
So, what do you think you'd give the score for this episode?
Wasn't really that creepy,
Hmm.
but it was still fun. I'll give it an 8.
8? A little higher than me. I gave it a 6. While 6 is like an average score, and this was a unique episode. I don't feel like I loved it.
It just wasn't that scary, and
Yeah.
the meat cube thing was like it was interesting, but it wasn't
Mm.
like that much of a payoff.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So, I have to do math. Oh, you know what? You do the math this week. It's 8 plus 6. I know this is a hard number. Should I call Big Bird in? Maybe the count?
I got them in my head right now. It's 14.
14.
Let me do it on my fingers.
You don't have 14
Yes.
fingers. Be careful.
Yes.
So
It's
that
14.
puts it at number 2. It's behind our tie at number 1 and ahead of Inside.
Okay, so it's not actually ranking that high then. 2 sounds
It's
high,
technically
but really it's in like the
3,
bottom half.
which I would kind of agree with being the middle of the pack.
Yeah, I agree. I enjoyed it though.
Yeah.
I thought it was still good.
Yeah, like I think the episode's good, but it's not strong.
It just lends itself well to discussion and jokes.
Lent itself very well to jokes. So the next episode is called Now Chan. What do you think it's about?
It's a child that can control time. That's why
Ooh.
his name is Now Chan.
Ooh, that could be scary, but it's not, thankfully. So we'll find out next week.
I have a feeling I'm not accurate this time.
You have nothing to go off of. Literally nothing. It's a person's name.
Yeah, true. Cut me some slack.
I will say time is involved
Oh, awesome. Well, I'll take that as a win.
because time is involved in everything.
Come on. All right, that's enough.
Thank you for joining me,
See you guys next time.
and thank you for being you.